Welcome back, ballers, to the very first episode of Hangin' Loose on the News. Co-piloted by a dear friend of mine, TJ, aka Contemporary Problems. Since we were backstage, I don't know if you guys were able to hear me, but if we can get a thumbs up in the chat, just as confirmation that you guys can hear us. But TJ, can you hear me first and foremost?
I can definitely hear you. Can you hear me?
I can definitely hear you as well, my friend. But like I said, you guys, this is a dear friend of mine. His name is TJ. I've known TJ for about, I want to say, close to 5 years. Probably a little over now at this point. Hello, Jared. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Steven. Good to see you guys. And TJ and I met virtually. We've never actually met in person yet, but we were just talking about I would love to come out and see a concert of his out in Toronto if his band ever tours Toronto. I don't want to go on too long, but TJ and I have been connected ever since. We've realized that we connect on a lot of things. But I think the first connection was really through the gematria lens and the numerology type of things that you were sharing and I was sharing, only to find out that we love the same kind of music. Hopefully you guys liked the intro. But without further ado, TJ, please, if you wouldn't mind just letting the viewers who are not familiar with your work a little bit more about yourself and where they can help find your content.
Yeah, so I'm Contemporary Problems. I started in 2020, October 2020 on a full moon, and I was living in the capital of Canada, high on mind-altering substances, giving the middle finger to the government building, just being like, what is this energy and whatever. And then right after that, I started a podcast, and that was called Contemporary Problems. Started back then. I followed Balll Don't Lie very early on. I was probably within his first 100 followers, like OG kind of thing. And I used to be I still am into gematria and know lots about it, but I used to post tons about it, and like it was very much a part of me. Although I do say that I am a jack of all trades, master of fun, meaning that I have a full Swiss Army knife of not just conspiracies, but many things that I'm still uncovering the superpowers as they develop. And yeah, I had Balll Don't Lie, I had AJ on my podcast in 2022. And I had covered sports a bunch. I did a episode earlier that was like one of my first like rockin' episodes that was like heavily shared and all that, and I was decoding the movie Space Jam, and I called it Welcome to My Space Jam, saying that like it's a spiritual just like the spiritual war is expressed through Space Jam and that whole kind of thing, and that I'm fighting my own Space Jam, and I do lots of the spiritual kind of stuff. And that's what's like really cool about hanging loose with the news, because a name like Contemporary Problems sounds like that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about on my podcast, and my content is like the modern problems, the current event problems. But ironically, that's not at all what the podcast is really about. It was a bit because we were in a global pandemic that changed the world forever, that imprisoned humanity and all that. So I was forced to talk on the modern problems of this world, but it was more about like the self journey and the problems we all face within ourselves. And it's like Contemporary Problems turned to more of like comedic, therapeutic session of laughing at the world and laughing at ourselves and going through what we go through, where it ended up being more like a spiritual and uplifting thing, which is awesome, because I'm stoked that we can like now channel maybe what Contemporary Problems was intended to be, or just that, where we focus on the current things that are happening and how ridiculous they are, which then brings us to hanging loose on the noose.
I love that. And yeah, I was just going to say what I love about this particular idea. And by the way, we're going to put it out there. We're going to strive to do something like this every other Monday. Obviously, anything can happen on any given day, and there's always plenty to talk about. But where TJ and I vibe as well is talking more about the really abnormal types of things that are going on around the world. Be it funny or not, we're what I really admire about you, TJ, is that you've always been able to put a smile on my face, because this journey that I think a lot of people are on, as far as trying to uncover as much truth as you can, it can get very dark at times and very discouraging and whatnot. But you've always been in my corner, first and foremost. You were absolutely one of my first 100 followers. But you've always been able to kind of keep me lighthearted in this whole journey. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, that seems to be, and I appreciate that, those kind of words. That seems to be one of my main compliments, is like, yo, you're like black pilling, but you're not. Like you're still laughing about it, and you're still like okay and whatever, because we do have our own lives, and we do have enough to just like enjoy in this world that's barely grasping on to reality as of late, and everything that's going on. Like we've been glued to the topic since 2020. Like they locked us all up and they put us on our phones and made us hyper focus on every current event ever. So I think like, which was kind of funny, that led me to like, maybe that even pushed me to like contemporary problems not being so like focused on that, because I'm like, okay, we're focused on this so much as it is. I'm going to find a way to make fun of it. I'm going to look for the humor in it without it like trying to be the humor in it. I just like can see a funny kind of thing in it all, and try and spin it positively as well.
Right. I mean, especially when you do start uncovering occult knowledge, which means hidden knowledge, you can actually and you start seeing how perfectly aligned things are, how perfectly certain people are writing certain articles, right? Like what you and I talked about last night. The jokes are out there because, whoever's navigating this certainly has a sense of humor, even if this is all organic. And I'm sure you've heard the phrase that God has the best sense of humor. I mean, he created humor, right? So they say. So just something to think about. And sorry, I've had this full screen for a minute. I did want to shout out to Steven. Steven said here, he said the intro was fire, bro. So
Sweet.
it was really good. I'm glad Steven liked it. I just want to shout out a couple folks. Maggie, always good to see you. I love to see the sisterly love back and forth in the chat. Not joking to me. It's good to see you again. Good to see you, Joe. Who else we got? Coffee Girl, obviously. Good to see the normal crew. I would like to take a quick second, you guys. Please make sure to subscribe to Contemporary Problems. The link directly to his channel is in the description of the video. So please make sure to do that right now. Hit that like and subscribe as well for any new viewers who might not be familiar with either of us. We appreciate the support. So TJ, where should we take this, my friend? I mean, there's so much we can talk about. We can open up the phone line. I do want to encourage those in the chat. Please share with us just kind of some bizarre things that have either happened in your life or other bizarre news, for example, that people haven't talked about. That's unless TJ, there's anything else you know what? Before we do that, TJ, you have a phenomenal explanation about where news actually comes from, right? And how it really intertwines with the letters and the numbers and things that we use today to speak to each other. So it reminds me of 1984 as I'm reading that book right now. And if you wouldn't mind just kind of telling that story to the viewers about why was news created in the first place and go from there.
It's perfect too that you still have the thumbnail up here, because it's right there explaining it via pictures what is the noose, right? We're hanging loose on the noose, which is on the left. The noose, right? Are you hanging on to these headlines, a head on a line? And then the news is the north, east, west, south. So we have the compass, because it's the spinning, it's navigating your compass, and you paying attention to that rather than navigating your own compass. Not only that, is the news covers 4 main topics: the news, N; the entertainment, E; the weather, W; and sports, S. News. Aren't they so clever? So I was just trying to figure out, like, when did they start making news? why would we need, when did news become a thing? Like, we know it through like the modern world, through TV. Like, news obviously grew with radio and TV and stuff, so it's like always been a part of propaganda. Like, think about how much news like they don't cover. Like, I was thinking about that one today, how I'm like, I've worked like catering and stuff, like whether like feeding the homeless, things like that, like kind of community stuff, just like have friends and, oh yeah, I'll come freaking barbecue some burgers and whatever, or like done full on catering things for like communities that are like helping it and all that. Yet like that doesn't get covered on the news, where it's like people taking it into their own hands, saying that like these systems and everything, these things that we pay taxes to and all this, uh they're not doing anything, but these people are doing things. But those people that we are paying taxes to are funding the news. So why would the news cover something positive like that? It always seems to have a dark undertone of like things that are like gnarly happening, or like, oh look, this person's dying, look at the crime rates, look at all this. Like, there's, as much as they like can keep it positive and everything, there's still a darkness to it, which then made me look deeper into it, where the news essentially started, the newspaper kind of became before TV and radio. And then, so then I had to look, okay, where did the newspaper come from? And based on what I was able to find out, is that the first kind of version of news had to do with Rome and the Roman Empire, because they would have bulletins, or like say the public thing, to announce to the public about who they were hanging or beheading that week or that month, or whenever, however often they did it. Like, this was who was getting beheaded. And that's like the OG of the news. So it's like that energy creating it as well, is like, that's what came from it, where I was like, oh yeah, it's the news. It's the news. Like, it just makes so much sense. And like Roman Empire still lurking around. Like what's in the basement in Rome? You know what I mean? Like the Roman, like if the Roman Empire died, what's in the basement of Rome? Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then in the news, you have headlines, right? And I, shout out to you again, TJ. He made the intro, you guys, for tonight's episode. So it was all in there, just in the lyrics alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, a headline, and then reporters have to get their story in at a deadline to make the headline news, right? Maggie says, "Nice work, TJ." No, it's a really good explanation. I really like how you kind of give that hind story around where news originally came from.
Yeah,
and it makes. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, pretty sure I was once raised on saying that I'm never supposed to eat wieners soggy. News. That's how you remember north. That's how you remember northeast, southwest.
Oh my God. I was like, what are you talking about? Wait, what? You're never supposed to eat wiener soggy?
Never eat wiener soggy. News.
Oh,
because that's like one of the like acronyms to remember. Northeast, southwest would be like never eat soggy wieners, or never eat wiener soggy. Would be like,
oh, geez. Well, I'm sure there's a million other acronyms you could come up with other than that one. But okay.
I'll roll with it. I'm pretty sure they taught us that in school, like back in the 90s. You could get away with that.
Anybody in the chat, please let us know if that's how you were taught, northeast, south, and west.
Yeah, what was the acronym that you were taught to remember? NESW or NEWS?
I grew up in a Catholic school. I almost want to say there was something about like the sign of the cross, north, south, east, west kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
It makes me think about that too. I mean, I wanted to shout out Joe as well. Yeah, so she emphasizes news, but look at this. She took the anagram of news, and it also says stone. So that's pretty sick, Joe. Like that's I love your lens there.
Stone is so
it's
good.
Backwards, actually. It's not even an anagram, it's just the reverse of it.
No, there's no. It's a little bit. No, it's an anagram.
Oh no, sorry. Whoa, sorry, I got too excited. Swen, yeah. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I would just say the news is kind of what sews people together, right? Like the mind's eye of the masses is sewn together through the news. They're
And
like all in the same noose.
we have such a different experience, like our generations and the social media generation have such a different experience of the news, because it was like, I just remember being at like my grandparents' house eating dinner like way early, and they're like, yep, gotta put on the 5 o'clock news, like before, when like TV was your main outlet or whatever. Like that's the world I would know, at least, like, but you know, we would know just at our age. But you know, it was like news at 6, and the noose at 6, a 6 is a noose.
There you go. Yep. That's a good, wow.
Yeah.
That symbolism's crazy. That's usually when like the main news is
the main news.
Yeah.
And then the other ones at the late nights at 11, get the magic.
We got another admirer of the intro. Shout out to TJ once again. But yeah, no, shout out to you too, JC. It's good to see you as always, man. I feel like if you're not familiar with TJ or Contemporary Problems, you and I share, like when JC and I met, we shared in a very similar type of humor, and I could already tell that you two would hit it off. So I appreciate you being here, JC. Thank you. But yeah, no, that's crazy. Like news at 6, the 6 is a noose. You know, news. Pop quiz for everybody. What does NEWS stand for? That's going to be kind of a backbone, right, of these bi-weekly streams that we'll do. Hopefully we'd be able to hit, you know, all 4 letters. Obviously my main go-to is the sports side, but then what fascinates me is how much the sports intertwines with the other 3 letters, you know. But yeah, sorry, you were going to say something?
No, you were.
So I guess my point is, you know, we want to use that, you know, news, entertainment, weather, sports as a way to, you know, essentially try to cover as much of the information that the world is sharing with us, even though it's impossible to hit all of it. Shout out to Joe as well. TJ, have you thought about this one? News anchors, like an anchor, like in the world at sea. It makes me think about how they would essentially execute people at sea. Was they would tie your feet to an anchor and just throw you overboard. You know what I mean?
That too. And it's just like the compass, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and then now we're also into the gravity. Don't get me going on the gravity, but yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what I'll do, if you're okay with it, you know, I want to encourage once again anybody in the chat, if you guys have any certain topics you guys want us to throw out there, please let us know. Tej, I can always open up the phone line as well. Usually when I do, you know, I got a little bit of a shyer crowd. They just like to listen, and I respect that. That's totally fine. But just want to keep that door open for anybody that's interested. So just let us know. TJ, you and I talked about 2 specific stories that happened over the last week or so that are both technically sports related. One for sure. The other one is like, I mean, sports are involved. It involves that NHL hockey team, the mascot.
Yeah.
But do you want to jump in there, or is there anything first that you would like to kind of kick things off with? Because,
well, mine is like, as far as from a decoding perspective, I could bring in the compass about the words for it. And it is straight up news before, because it's like we both know sports very well. I got into gematria in about 2016, which was the same time that I started playing FanDuel fantasy sports, primarily NBA, and then a little bit of NHL. Not much money in NHL, so I stuck to the NBA, and then a little bit of NFL. But NBA is my main sport, which was like ridiculous to find. AJ was like, wait, you know about numerology and gematria and basketball, and you have a book about this, like, and you're writing a book about this? Like, I knew you before wordplay.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't have that book when I started. That took me like 2 years, and mainly I used my Instagram page as the backbone of it, since I was pretty much posting every day. And then turned it into a book. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. It was so cool how we connected on so many clicks, you know. Just for those that are not aware, which I don't think most will be, TJ is located in Canada, so we got this Canadian way of looking at things too. I thought it was interesting when TJ, you and I were talking the other night. You said, what did you call a beanie again?
Oh, a toque.
A toque?
A toque. And I was like, I didn't like, I just was so used to talking. Like normally I clue in, oh, I'm talking to an American. Like sometimes I don't see it. I didn't see it like that. I don't see the border, man. I don't see the border between us or something. But so yeah, I just slipped out. I slipped out saying the word toque in front of the American homie, and it was like, oh no.
Joe says it's called technically a tabernacle. Is that just short for toque?
Nope, tabernacle is a French slur, like a tabernacle. And then how the French pronounce tabernacle is tabernacle. So it'd be like tabernacle. It's like a Quebec slur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's one of those kind of like how the F word has like, and even like shit, or like these words have different meanings. You can say like someone is the shit, someone fucking smells like shit. Like, it can have
right.
So tabernacle has its own like meaning.
Okay. You know what I just remembered is that I want to say one of the first year that you and I knew each other, we did a live stream on our Instagrams, and we had another Canadian coder that was on there, and then I think off the cuff I pulled up like the most ridiculous like words that Canadians say. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because
we went through that whole list.
A couch is called like a Chesterfield.
Do you guys really say, hey, like, you guys want to go chill on the Chesterfield and watch some TV?
But ever since then, I have referred to the couch as a Chesterfield for sure. As like with a friend and a time to like throw in a quick one-liner, I'll be like, oh yeah, you guys want to move to the Chesterfield? It's like, that's ridiculous for us even. So that's a bit much.
What were some of the other ones? I mean, because
there was one you thought was funny, even though it's a hockey term, deke. You deke someone, and you guys are like, what does deke mean? I'm like, it's like you dangle, like you just deked you.
Like cross them up.
Yeah, just deked you. It's like a hockey term. It's like because you're using your stick to dangle, right? So like, I don't know, like it would make, like, to me that makes sense. In soccer you would like deke them out, or in football, but like in like soccer you yeah, I bet it's a soccer term too, I would think. I don't know, I grew up playing hockey, so I don't know.
I mean, I guess what I would say is like juke, to like juke someone would be kind of what I would say, like, oh, he just got juked, like something like that. But let's see. I don't know what dangle means either. It just means like in basketball, for example, or in football, anytime like someone has the ball or the puck in their hand and they make a quick move, and then the defender like gets all thrown off. That's right. Like that's a deke in Canada.
I feel like it's like, and then it's like Canadian Sports Bro really shows, because I try to use another word to describe what I'm describing, and I'm like, oh, a deke is just like a dangle. It's like, what's a dangle? A dangle's like, oh, a dangle's like a deke. It's like like a crossover, a dangle, like
crossover,
like you're dangling, you're like whoa, and so it's like in basketball, it's like that was even like kind of one of my nicknames was TJ Dangles, because I was very good at dribbling. Because
TJ Dangles,
because it's just like you don't like, it's just I'm just with the ball or whatever. So
wait, you're just what with the ball? What was that you just said?
Dangling.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious, Casey. Yeah, I'll be your dangleberry. I'm surprised you. Oh man, I love this. Yeah, I literally laughed out loud. Yeah, that's the point of the show, you guys. We're literally here to shoot the shit, talk about whatever we want to talk about, in all honesty, and it typically will fall in line with news. But apparently, TJ wanted to explain how he was called TJ Dingleberry back in high school.
It's 3J Dangles. It's like I could shoot and dribble.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. And like ultimately, that's why I think TJ and I got really so connected was through our love of basketball. On top of everything else, where most people around us, aren't having the conversations we were having about the world around us. So, let me ask you this: since we're talking basketball, let's do this for a second. Who was your favorite player growing up? Like, and meaning always was and still is.
Got to go with the Canadian long hair, Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
And
Okay.
it was just the age I was and how into it I was. Steve Nash was like, and the way I played and everything, it was like, positionality, everything. It was like, yo, Steve Nash.
Yeah.
And and then Vince Carter was like on the Raptors. So that was pretty big when I was young, for sure. But then it's like, because, I'm like 6 or 7 years old and they're like, oh, Vancouver Grizzlies. So it was like big country Bryant Reeves. Like, who knew who that was? He's like some hick that could dunk for like 3 years and then went 23, turned 35. So like
he was Chris Kaman before Chris Kaman.
Yeah, he's the original. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 guys that have been that for sure.
That's funny, man. Yeah, mine was Allen Iverson.
AI was big too. AI was definitely one of them. And like, oh yeah. Oh, see, I think I was too into basketball where I would say like kind of Steve Nash, but like I could list off probably 15 players that's like the ones. And then one more shout out maybe would be I liked little razzle dazzle would be Jamal Crawford, who played on the Clippers for a while too, which was one of your favorite teams. And then also Steve Francis.
Stevie Franchise.
Yeah. Who has a shape-shifting video.
Does he really?
There's one where it's like, look in his hand, he goes to dunk and his hand like,
oh yeah.
And I'm like,
You're like, oh, am I watching Space Jam?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that was the joke with LeBron, where it's like, oh, LeBron's gonna be in Space Jam 2. Like, what happens? LeBron asks for a trade to the Monstars so he can win a championship. Like, LeBron, like these guys are Monstars.
Yeah, I mean, talk about truth in plain sight, right? There's so many examples of truth they put in any type of movie. What makes Space Jam any different?
See, and it was like kind of our goal a little bit was not start just going basketball all the way. And I did have a topic, so maybe we'll save it for later. And maybe we do go in, maybe we are forced to talk about basketball.
I would say since we're talking about basketball,
it's in the news right now. It's like we are like, oh, we want to start a new show and try and not talk about basketball. But it's hard to not talking about basketball when they're throwing goddamn dildos on the WNBA court. Like, what is this world like?
This is exactly. This isn't one of those oddity things. And this didn't happen just one time, you guys. Notice the headline. Why are sex toys being thrown during WNBA games? There's multiple instances. I think 4 times now. And then now there's all this type of, additional security now that they have to put into WNBA games. Apparently they didn't check bags before until the dildos came flying. Increased security because of the flying sex toys. Maggie asks, like, I saw a random clip earlier about that, but why? And that's something that I haven't really been able to dive into deeper as far as how this is kind of interconnected with something else. But all I will say is that take notice that the first one that was thrown is a green one. And what have I been talking about this entire year about love? Do you guys see the joke? Green being the heart chakra, the green toy, which represents the phallus, which is related to a falsified way of making love. Of course, it's a green one, right? But every time now that it's been being thrown, it essentially it's a different color every time. There's even Maggie. Green is the heart chakra, right? So of course it's the first one, and it goes back to Hulk Hogan, named after the Hulk. who is green. He dies from a heart attack, right? The city of brotherly love wins the Super Bowl a few months prior, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so now it's like a rainbow. And
go
what I
back to
wanted
the toy on the court. Notice the score.
75-75.
Right? It's like it's not a coincidence. It wasn't 78-75. It was 75-73. It was 75-75.
Yeah, I mean the clock obviously stopped at 51.9 seconds, so that would be exactly where I would start as far as the total score, the total points scored, the score itself, etc.
I'll add one major online theme, although not related to this at all. Just it equals 75 in gematria. Not related to this at all, but just the power of this. Chat GPT equals 75.
Interesting. I could go a million directions with that. But without me actually saying what I'm trying to convey to the viewers right now, this is something that TJ and I laughed about because I saw it immediately. But not only is this story ongoing, meaning it's happened 4 times, there might be a 5th or a 6th. Who knows how long this will go? But there are 2 specific things here in this article, which I looked up literally last night. If you guys type in WNBA sex toy throwing or something like that, the first article that will pop up on Google is from BBC. And I'll just leave that there.
Yeah. We have at work, and I do the trades, and we have a tool that it's a oscillating multiple tool. It's like a little buzzer thing, but we cut a lot of baseboard with it. So one guy I worked with called it the baseboard cutter, the BBC. Yeah, because that's the joke. It's the BBC.
Yeah, Joe says enough said. So of course it's, you know, at the very top of your search bar when you look into the story. But also look who wrote it, you guys. I mean, this is like a double. I mean, like this shows how
that's not a real name. Like, and apologize to the person that wrote that, but that's not a real name.
I mean, you got at this point with how long we've seen this stuff go on, it's like, oh my God, man. These people got jokes for days. I mean, there's 2 sex jokes essentially in that last name alone, and I'm not going to explain why. It's just crazy. Look at that, and then right underneath it, you got by BBC News talking about sex toys. I mean, it's sick. Like it's sick, but like most people don't see it, and that almost makes me more sick. You know what I mean? And like that's why in a way it's like you have to kind of laugh at some of this shit because people are still actually like consumed by this and they don't see the joke right in front of their face.
And you could even because they do this when I did like my first Space Jam episode, I point out that the only players shown on the court are specific numbers, blah blah blah. All that is the reason they're showing 2-2-4. Has to be.
I mean, Kimberly has a very blunt take, and I can't say I necessarily disagree with that. I mean, I feel like I got to tread lightly with
I don't
some
know
of this stuff. But once again, this is what they're putting in front of us, right? I'm just saying, like, there's nothing that I'm showing here that you guys can't pull yourself by a quick Google search. You know, sorry. Go ahead, Teach.
No, I understand. I played competitive co-ed basketball with NCAA players and stuff like that. Yeah, they're 6'3". Like they're big and they're good and they're women. Like I don't know. It's like it's not saying it's not happening, but it's like no, there's some units out there and they're awesome people and very talented.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I'll never forget my freshman year in high school. Our coach during practice, like the women's team, the girls team would be practicing open gym or whatever, same time. And our coach had us go play against the JV, ladies team. and we're freshmen. We're like 14 years old, like 120, 125 soaking wet. And I mean, and then these are like junior girls, like, and basketball player girls, you know what I mean? And we kind of hung in there, man, but they were rough, dude. They were tough, man. But no, I was just gonna say, like, I agree with what you were saying, and granted, there are some that are a little more questionable than others in the league. I'll just leave it at that, as far as like, you know. But I mean, it's almost like ever since the Brittany Griner thing, once that was going on for as long as it did, and then she finally came back. It's kind of like, okay, what else can we do to make the WNBA at least, like, in the headlines kind of thing? That's another running joke, sex joke, just with going back to how we explained where news came from earlier. But yeah, I just think that that was pretty much what I wanted to say.
And like the reason it would like continue, like whether like we have to remember too that like the internet and stuff, but these algorithms and stuff now is that like, oh, this is trending now. Well, where did that trend come from? Because like
Right.
we grew up on like original YouTube and like those kind of things where if something was viral, it was actually viral. Where
Right.
like now it's manufactured. Like I have like 7, like I figured it out too. It's like I have like 7 Instagram accounts and like, ranging from like 7,000 to like 20,000 or whatever followers on each one. And it's like different things. And it's like it was Brittany Griner actually. I did like a couple gematria matches and I matched like Vanilla Ice and Ninja Turtles, like or something, some sort of thing that I connected it to. And I did like I have an animal, like fun animal account kind of thing, and I posted a thing of a turtle with the Vanilla Ice "Go Ninja, go Ninja, go go,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and like I was on a live stream and I like opened it up on on the laptop while I was like on the phone or whatever, and it was one of those where it was like I don't know, this doesn't happen as much, but it was one of those like you posted and an hour later it has 50,000 views. Like
Oh,
it
like
was
right
ridiculous.
place,
Like
right time. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was like the only reason I went with that song or even posted that was because I'm like, this match is with Brittany Griner. And it was like the week it was happening. So that was just
Yep.
like, whoa, this stuff is that deep where it's like, even if I was like off kiltered, but same numerical energy, it was still working out. So it's just like trends are manufactured. So maybe whether it was like this could have just been a genuine thing, but it's good to remain skeptical and think that like the world is a stage and maybe that this was a symbolic thing. And
Right.
the people that are doing this are master psychologists that have been running psychology on humanity for thousands of years. And now that we're at this like end point of technology and everything, they know like we do this, other people are going to start doing that too. Or it was a genuine thing and people are still doing it and that's just ridiculous. And whatever it is, it's just ridiculous that we live in a world where they're throwing dildos
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
professional women's basketball court.
And the WNBA has been around for a while. I mean, this is just coming out of nowhere, right? Oh, geez, there's another running joke. Even us just talking about it, there's going to be running jokes, and I don't even know it. But think about how, like, okay, scenario one, this is completely organic as far as fans, or let's say a group of people that are deciding to do this to create something viral. That's option one. Option two is that it was orchestrated by something greater than that to generate conversation. Either way, like you said, we live in a world where sex toys are being thrown on the court of women's basketball games. But I wanted to share this slide because it shows how not only that, but you even have people, in the highest forms of politics that are also playing into it to help continue the trend. You know what I mean? It's like, why is Donald Trump's son posting memes about this? I mean, Donald Trump said a lot of things about women's basketball and, just all this kind of stuff, right? But it just goes to show how even the higher ups that really orchestrate this, yeah, distraction, Maggie says. It's exactly.
How about
Um,
how about I got one just now. sometimes, like, because it's like, hey, guys have a knob.
Uh-huh.
You could go NAWB in the anagram of WNBA for knob.
Okay.
To
Okay. I
add
kind of see
to
where
the
you're going with that.
controversy of all WNBA players, some of them potentially having a knob or not. We now have knob.
You know what I just thought of actually? When we're playing off of the words of WNBA, it's one letter off from womb. You notice that?
Yeah,
Pretty
totally.
much. Well,
Well,
technically two,
double.
but it kind of looks like womb.
And
It kind of looks like womb
energetically,
BA, doesn't it?
yeah, and like energetically, vowels, like consonants are like solid, and vowels are air.
Yeah.
And to
Okay.
validate that, wolves, which is an anagram for vowels,
Okay.
wolves howl, vowel howl, wolves howl in vowels. Woo! Wolves howl is all the vowels. Like, I didn't write this. I'm just reporting that this happened. That
Yeah.
is adding to the clues.
But anyways, yeah, I think I've shown enough of kind of that in the story. I don't know if anybody was aware of that story. I would assume a lot of people have because it has been a running headline. Hey Betty, how
Breaking
are you?
breaking news. Yeah, there's
Breaking news.
what is like Sports Center doing about
Written
it?
by Anna
What is like ESPN?
Pagui.
What is like That's a good question though. What is like ESPN? Is ESPN bringing it up? Is this like making the main news, or like do they want to cover it up? Like, how do you put that on the news? Like,
Yeah, is there nothing
what
else to
like is
talk
that
about?
like
Like
top 10? Like, is that on like Sports Center or whatever it's called, like top 10 end of
the
the night?
not top 10 or whatever?
Yeah,
I mean, I would say yes. For me, it's like,
they'd probably blur it. Maybe, I don't know. Like,
well, it goes back to what you were saying about earlier, where you ask yourself how much, like, what other news in the world is going on that we don't even know about, you know? Because ultimately it's decided what news is being brought out there. And it makes me think about, holy smokes, kind of like how much light we take in the light spectrum. Even if there is some truth in some of the news that we get, we're probably only getting like 0.00002% of like what's actually happening around the world. But then people take a lot of their time to read the news, and then they feel like they're well updated and informed about everything that's going on, but they don't know anything, you know?
and it's like it's really annoying how social media like took that turn, especially in the last couple of years, but it's been building since 2020, where it's like I have a friend that like got hit by a car and he's like in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And
Yeah.
it's like, hey, want to give you an update? And the algorithm is like, fuck your update, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
like kick rocks. You're not engaging. No one's engaging with your content enough to be shown to all your followers. It's like, hey guys, I got hit by a car. Like, like,
Oh my god, dude.
or whatever. And it's like, and the algorithm's like, nope. Like, this doesn't align with the algorithm, bro. And you're like,
Yeah.
yo, just trying to so like we're also no longer allowed to like update about ourselves, even like unless we're really like going out of our way to check in with our friends.
Yeah, the algorithm's like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That's not really, that's not helping the brand. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not really on brand.
Yeah, your engagement has gone down. So it tells us that nobody really cares if you got hit by a car, you know?
And it's like everyone who would see it is like, yo, got your back. Like, yo, got your back. But like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I hear you,
ridiculous.
man. That's wild. But yeah, so I thought I would kick it off by just sharing that story. That's definitely a more commonly known story. Just because you got, Donald Trump Jr. posting memes about it.
You
So
can
there's
bet
that.
lines. You can bet on it. You can bet which color the next dildo is going to be.
It makes me wonder if
I would bet no.
from your
I would bet
From your
no go.
astrology perspective, though, I don't know how much colors overlap with different signs of the
Well,
zodiac,
no, but
but
it's
it makes me wonder if the dates that these are happening and the colors of the
no,
toys that are being
it
thrown could be something about that.
it would, in the sense that it aligns with today. And it aligns with today because there is a Jupiter and Venus conjunction. Both Jupiter and Venus are connected to the sacral chakra, the sacred bits, the the nut sacral chakra, the that area, right? And Jupiter is orange and it's connected
Okay.
to expanding.
Mhm.
Right, and then
Uh-huh.
Venus rhymes with what, everybody? And then it's like it's the Venus, so they're the 2, well, the kinda look at it, they're all sexual planets in their own way, oddly enough, weirdly, but, like, as far as, like, where the chakras are, today is very interesting that it's that, and the Hulk also grows, the Green Hulk
Yeah, well,
expands, and
shout
and
out an early R or late RIP to Hulk Hogan. Sorry.
'cause they all yeah, on his
'Cause today
on
is
his
Hulk
birthday.
Hogan's birthday. Happy birthday, Hulk
How old
Hogan.
would he have been today?
Well, he died at 71, so today would have been his 72nd birthday. So
72.
they tell us.
Money
So they
equals
tell us.
72. It's a very big money code. And Monday equals 72.
Oh, interesting. And
Yeah.
you know what's interesting is the moon, right?
Well, that's
Monday is named after the moon. The moon is the feminine, right?
that's
He
that's
was
why
very masculine,
yeah.
and he
Yeah.
represented the sun. His colors were the sun. He's a Leo. So of
Yeah.
course, his
Yeah.
next birthday was going to be on a moon. Oh wow, on a Monday, on a
Yeah.
moon day.
On a moon day. And that
Wow, I didn't think about that.
adds to that expansion of the phallic objects and all that, because that's why it's the rocket to the moon.
Right.
The moon, the feminine. Oh, like it's the Austin Powers bit. Look at that giant Johnson. Get back to work. Look at that. Or, like it's like, look at that. Woody Harrelson. Like the Austin Powers bit. Like it's literally what it is. It's why it's like
Right.
the space sex. Like they're literally just like joking, like, yo, it's the space sex. And it's like that in your face.
No, you're absolutely right. I actually touched on that whole Johnson name when I did a breakdown of the movie Rain Over Me with Adam Sandler and Don Cheadle. I don't know if you remember that movie, but Don Cheadle played Dr. Johnson, and there was the whole thing about Dr. Johnson. He keeps having to push away this woman that wants to do things to him. And it's like, of course his last name is Johnson, so they got to throw in those like little sex jokes, and even just the way that they name certain characters in movies and what the character is going through.
Well, and then that made me sidetrack thought, think Randy Johnson called the big unit. And then
Oh, man.
because
Oh
I've been
god,
to
dude.
Arizona a bunch.
Yeah,
Alice
yeah, yeah.
Alice Cooper owns a restaurant called Alice Cooperstown just outside the stadium, and you can go get a like 2-foot long hot dog called the big unit.
Oh god, dude. Yep.
Never eat wiener soggy. That's why we're
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my god, man. I got a feeling every news story I'm going to be looking at now, all of a sudden there's going to be a
yeah,
big unit connection. The next article I read is going to be written by John Johnson or something. But yeah, do you want to dive into that other one that I had that we talked about with the Seattle Kraken, or should we save that for a little bit?
Oh, I just lost it because that Randy Johnson threw me off. I had one more point to make on the just
Well,
the
he
it's
won a
just like
championship with he won a championship with the Diamondbacks, which is the snake. So you kind of have that alignment, the big unit playing for the big snake,
that's like
Sorry,
my
go
look.
ahead.
That's why I have like a mustache and long hair. It's like, and I was doing this before everyone. Like, I swear, like, I don't need to get into that, but I had this has been my look for many years. This wasn't like how everyone looks like this now. Nothing worse than like something
I don't know
that you could,
anybody in my life that looks like you, TJ.
no, but everyone, I just feel like everyone on the internet now looks like this, and I'm like, yo, I've been repping this forever, and now it's just like, okay, but not a thing. Oh, I had it too for a second on the just like the moon landing day, like moon landing 1969, 69, ayo. And then they still celebrated the 69, how would that be, like that or whatever, is also the sign Cancer in astrology. The moon landing day is on 7/20, still in Cancer season, at the very end of Cancer season, Cancer being the feminine, ruled by the moon landing day on the last days of Cancer. That day when you go like international or like national day today or whatever, it's like National Lick a Lollipop Day, National Ice Cream Cone Day. Like it's like every national day that day is like sexual as well. Like it's literally like
lickable
yeah,
edible items.
it's all one. It's the Matrix. It's all ones and zeros. It's the ones going into the zero. Like that's the moon landing and all that.
Joe asks, "What's going down in Portland?" Joe, I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. If you can be more specific, we can pull it up and take a look. One thing too, if I didn't already clarify earlier, one thing I really admire about TJ as well is that he has quite the knowledge and think outside the box knowledge when it comes to the zodiac and astrology. And I am in pre-K when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I love picking your brain on that. And don't forget, since we were talking about landing on the moon and all that stuff, going back to the love themes, right? The green dildo. Don't forget who just died last week. Jim Lovell, however you pronounce it, but love right in the middle of his last name. Just add another one to the list. Especially because, yeah, the moon represents the feminine and all that. Anyways, Jolin says, oh, the Portland ICE FBI sting. Okay, so I'm behind the curve on that. What exactly happened? Portland ICE FBI sting. Let's see what happens. Yeah, and why Portland exactly?
2
Portland,
weeks
man.
ago, facial recognition software leads to arrest.
Oh, okay. This was last month. I thought this was something that was like going down today or something. What's that, Teach? What'd you say?
No, I was just like, well, it's like what showed up for me was like how the whole thing, the FBI sting was all through facial recognition and all through technology. And we're cusping on, so like tomorrow or a day like this week or something like that, where like YouTube, you're supposed to give your ID, but we have channels. Like most people that have YouTube, if you have a channel and you like post videos and you want to like maybe later monetize or anything like that, you need to, like, at least for me, I had to provide an ID to like be able to monetize and all that, even though I'm not there or anything. But it's like for me to have the YouTube channels I do, I had to provide an ID. So I'm already there. So I'm like, oh, whatever. It's like, okay, I get money and whatever. But now they're saying that, like, the viewers have to do that. Same with Spotify. UK is going wild with IDs too. They're saying like in the next few years or however long, like facial, like you either have to have eyeball scan or fingerprint. Straight up Minority Report, no longer taking physical passports. You have to have a digital passport to go to parts of like the UK or Europe, the EU, part of the EU and all that. So the fact that even that it's just like that's like building on that whole thing that's going to be growing, that like this thing in Portland was all made possible because of facial recognition and probably
Jolin said
technology.
that prostitution ICE involved FBI also. Homelessness. And shout out Maggie. We were talking about the moon. What do you think about this? Tomorrow is Tiffany Moon's Day.
Birthday.
I'm looking. Oh, birthday. Yeah, Tiffany Moon's birthday. I don't know who Tiffany Moon is. Sorry. Who is that? Is that an actress or something? Tiffany Moon? Who is this?
Real
Anna
Housewives.
Theseus. Oh, okay. TV personality. Got it. Interesting. Okay. Real Housewives of Dallas. Okay.
And we're just coming off the full moon too. Like full moon was like this weekend, pretty much.
Well, and think about
Or
how
just
Dallas,
go
like
to it.
the whole state of Texas, is the stars. You know, it's all about the stars, and you have this. What's her name again? Jennifer Moon. Tiffany Moon. Makes me think of Jackie Moon. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
We just got off basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, your other one was sports related.
So, I mean, not really. I mean, kind of, right? Like, yeah. Let's just hit it because it's just like one image.
True.
Hold on a second. Let me get the screen back. Share screen. And by the way, if you guys are ever bored and want to pick up on just oddity news stories, you guys can go to AP News and they have an oddities tab. AP News oddities, and they'll share with you just kind of the more bizarre stories. But this, I say that because this is where I found this one. You had a Seattle NHL team's mascot, which was this is the mascot for the Seattle Kraken. Has a close encounter with a brown bear, during a video shoot in Alaska. So I just took these were both from the video itself. I just took a screenshot. Like this bear was like charging at this Seattle Kraken mascot in the middle of like an Alaskan river. And that's all I have. I mean, the bear represents a lot, the water symbolism. There's a lot to be said with those kinds of things. But what were your thoughts on that, TJ?
My initial one is like if it is symbolic, because it almost like it could just be another ridiculous thing, but as if we were to go through the perspective that the world is a stage and they are using symbology that the bear, whenever a bear is used, has to do with Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, and Ursa Major is covering the constellation Leo, if that sort of thing, Leo season and all that too, right? Ursa Minor is Gemini, and Ursa Major is Leo. I hope I don't have that backwards, but those are the two they're connected with.
And don't forget, you guys, Seattle is home of the Space Needle. So in the Patreon and stuff that I do, whenever it's like National Space Day or it's the Moon Landing Day or things like that, I always think of Seattle and the Astros because they're Space City.
And we don't need to go back to 2020, although we are covering news, whether new or not. But that was one of the first places in America to get
I think it was the first
thing. Yeah, exactly, right. And it's known for the needle. What?
Yep, the big poke. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, the bear is resembled in the zodiac amongst the stars, and of course, it's the Seattle Kraken. And they say it's a mythological creature, but who knows if it is?
Yeah, it's still like octopus related and octopus.
Yes, and like, what the hell is this mascot? Can we talk about that for a second? What is this?
What day did this come out?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Because I'm pretty sure the first ever Kraken or like giant octopus horror movie, I forget what it's called, but the octopus is attacking the Golden Gate, which has to do with 8/8. So if this came out the week of 8/8, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it was definitely more recent. I would say within the last week.
Yeah.
I can't confirm. I don't know. Can you...
What is this movie called?
Anyone in the chat, can you guys tell me what the heck this is? Like, this is the mascot for the Seattle Kraken. I mean, this looks nothing like an octopus. I know the Kraken isn't technically an octopus, but the Krakens I've seen don't look like this.
The movie was called Beneath the Sea, released in 1955. Satan equals 55. A giant radioactive octopus that terrorizes the Pacific coast of North America, and it's like has it like going over the Golden Gate Bridge, and the Golden Gate Bridge is always, as far as like what I've seen in other decoders and all that, is that it has a lot to do with the 8-8.
This one right here, right?
Yeah.
Beneath the Sea. Interesting. But yeah, like I said, it's not like I had decodes on it. I mean, if I did, I would have known what date this actually came out. But this is definitely within the last week or so. But I would be curious. Maybe offline, I'll start looking into that. Notice how it's an hour and 19 minutes. Got that 119 connection.
5 days ago. So it's still same week as like what has a lot to do with Golden Gate a little bit. I don't know the whole ties with the 8-8 and the Golden Gate, but they're definitely, I know other decoders, I remember them talking about that a bunch. And then saying that 811 is connected to that too, because it's like the 8 times 11 equals 88. And then Trump equals 88 for those that don't know as well. 88 miles per hour. There's a lot.
Maggie says, look up Teenage Kraken. I'm not sure exactly what that is. But either way, I mean, I just want to be mindful of time. Tej, I know you and I talked about maybe going like an hour and a half. We'll see how the next half an hour goes.
Even this on the national days, National Octopus Day is October 8th.
Yeah.
October 8th, 8-8, right?
Okay, there you go. There you go. And the octopus kind of resembles 8s, no? Just with all the tentacles, like they can create like 8.
It has 8
tentacles.
Yeah. And then it has 8 tentacles, and then
it has
like,
8, yeah.
and then its body, it's like big head, and then like a little like
it
is like 88.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
That is wild.
But yeah, Teenage Kraken, Maggie. I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about. Let me type that in. Teenage Kraken. Are we talking about Ruby Gilman Teenage Kraken? Is that what you're? Oh, okay. Okay. All right, let me pull that up here really quick. Looks like it's some animated. Teenage Kraken came out in 2023. When did you say the story was of the Seattle Kraken mascot getting chased by a bear?
5 days ago.
Okay, so back on the 6th.
Do you know what else we have to be worried about when it's if the Seattle Kraken are used for any symbolism or any news? You know, it's one thing we got to be worried about for as far as like agendas and that kind of thing.
What's that?
The name of the arena that they play in.
Which is?
Climate Pledge Arena.
Oh dear.
Straight up octopus agenda, or like, because the octopus is kind of like the Cthulhu and all that, like it's just seen as like the dark entity connected to Saturn and all that kind of thing. So
yeah,
just part of that, if there's a darkness agenda, and if that is a thing, Climate Pledge Agenda is where the Kraken play.
Climate Pledge Agenda. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and then in their WNBA team, we were talking about the WNBA earlier. Their team is the Storm, right? It's like all of their mascots. I just noticed about Seattle, since it's a very rainy city, right? So much rain in Seattle. Like there's all that water connection. Of course, the Kraken mascot's in a river for some reason in Alaska, getting chased by a bear. But yeah, I mean, those are the two stories I had to kind of kick off this first episode. And once again, encourage anybody in the comments to share any other kind of bizarre stories or really any stories you guys are that kind of caught your mind. Let us know. And once again, you guys, please make sure to follow and subscribe to my boy TJ's YouTube channel at Contemporary Problems. All one word.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think there's an underscore. I think I have that OG one. Most of them have an underscore. I don't think there is.
I don't think there is either. I already have the link in the description of the video as well. And as always, please make sure to hit those likes and subscribes. We really appreciate the support as always. Outside of that, I mean, I have some slides I can share about, you know, some of the picks that we hit on my Patreon page, and it had everything to do with Hulk Hogan, or I can just speak to it. Honestly, it's really simple. Just
I had the one. I have one that I wanted to bring up, and you could even like quick Google just to see. And it's a Canada topic, but it's
okay.
as far as bigger picture stuff, very
What should I type in?
suspicious.
What should I type in?
Nova Scotia forest ban or hiking ban. Yeah. You are not allowed to go into the forest on an entire province in the East Coast. Province is the same as states for those that don't know or anything like that, but you cannot go in the forest. You will get a $25,000 fine. And people have been going on social media being like, screw this. Look at me, I'm in the forest. And then they go track him down and give him a huge fine.
Why do you think that is?
I saw other posts as I tried to look into it, and I didn't like research it, but I looked into it through social media and all that, which then led me to this. And when you type it into Google, the AI overview says Nova Scotia has known uranium deposits, particularly within the like South Mountain batholith, like
Batholith. Yeah, I was
right?
gonna
Like
say
that's
that sounds
and the
familiar.
province recently lifted the ban on uranium exploration and mining. 3 specific sites identified for potential exploration include Louisville, East Dalhousie, and Annapolis, and Millet Brook, blah blah blah. But the province is now seeking proposals for a uranium exploration. I almost said explosion in the exploration in these 3 areas to focus on responsible, sustainable development. And my boy might have left, but nonetheless, we are in an era where we are. He's gone. Where
Yo, I'm back.
oh, he's back. He's
Do we
back.
gotta get? Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And I barely added from when you left, I think. Nonetheless, a lot of these uranium deposits are in the forest. So they recently lifted a ban to explore mining uranium. And a lot of this uranium is in the forest. And now they ban people from going in the woods. Like, what defines the woods?
Right.
What is the woods?
Walking in
Like
woods.
I walk every day. It's like what is nature? Yeah, what isn't the woods and what is the woods? Like, this guy's like, yo, I can't cross my street and go in the woods.
They would normally tell you it's just for your safety, right?
That's a freaking that's someone's yearly salary. Like that's like not that like as far as average. That's not like that's more than double that's higher than like the average salary.
Sure.
Like that's yeah.
We care about your life so much that we're gonna fine you 30 grand if you go into the woods. I love that. What is the woods? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
is it
they
all fenced off?
yeah,
I
and
mean,
anything, no hiking, no nothing, and so that's like they say the reason they want to do it is like to crack down on forest fires, but whatever. And
well, you know what this makes me think of? Like going back to, you know, the 2020 pandemic. That was like something that a lot of people ended up doing because we were all housed inside for so long. People were like, I'm going to go out and hike. I'm going to go walk around and like explore. And so that's concerning too, that they can just implement bans like this. And what happens when the next thing rolls around and there's a ban to go outside or like in the woods? It's like, okay, well, where am I supposed to go? No, you stay right where you're seated, you know?
you stay
Like
on
what?
Wi-Fi. Yeah, you have to be on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's crazy the direction we're going, that's for sure. It makes me think about they were talking about, or I saw recently about, there's places, and I'm sure it's been like this for a while, but there's places throughout the Grand Canyon you can't explore. You know?
Yeah, that is
And
weird.
and there's a lot of Tartaria things aligned with that and whatever. I mean, just think about how amazing the Grand Canyon is, even just by a photo or
Yeah.
knowing how vast it is. But like, you can't go just explore all of the Grand Canyon. They only let you see certain parts of it, kind of like Antarctica. I remember years ago, I was talking to my brother about the whole flat earth theory. And I'm not trying to preach one way or another about how people feel, but I was talking to him about it. And, you know, essentially, you can't go explore Antarctica, really. And then my brother like did a quick Google search. He's like, "Yeah, you can, dude. See, look, you can go right here." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like right here, this little, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you can go in the woods, but how far can you really go?"
It's the South Pole. Don't worry about it, eh? Like it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like some mob shit. Yeah. Don't worry about it. But
Hey, come on, don't worry about it.
but
It's for
even
your
that
safety.
has to do with, this goes back to the compass and the polar shifts. I was part of a podcast with dude Symbolic Studies, because I recently had AJ on, part of Occult Rejects, which I like contribute to. Like, they have a web, occultresearchinstitute.org. I contribute a little bit of a gematria to their little blog section and stuff. But we had AJ on, we had Rambo on, but we have Symbolic Studies, if any of you guys are familiar with. Great Instagram page. But he did a whole like polar episode. It was like this whole solar. That's what I brought. That's what I contributed, was that solar and polar are one letter off, and their
Right.
relationship to that. But nonetheless, like this polar shift or whatever, and it goes back to the compass, because this ban and this, that a lot of people are now correcting, or some people are connecting to the uranium lifted ban and all that. But Nova Scotia, NS, right? North, south.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. 2 of the 4. I mean, that's a fifth. That you're 50% there already.
But it's they're polar. If it was NE, you'd be like, whatever.
Sure.
But like, although New England's in the Northeast,
Right.
but it's the NS, it has to do with the polar, and the North Pole is in Canada, like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
When we start seeing a little bit more of that and a lot of weird stuff happening in Canada or these things, for whatever reason, I'm think to be very concerned about that. So maybe I'm a good line on that, because there's very few. Well, there's some of us, but paying attention to what Canada's got going on.
Yeah,
I think the
for
North
sure.
Pole is relevant.
Definitely. Yeah, I've always been fascinated by places you can't go to, whether or not the YouTube videos I watch online are legit or not. It's just fascinating to me. Like, this is our world. I mean, we all live in it. And it always comes down to, well, no, this is a high military operation over here, or it's too dangerous over there. I've always been fascinated by, oh my God, I'm going to forget the name. Oh man, it's an island that's like, it's like one of the only islands apparently that's uninhabited, or it's inhabited, but it's by the oh my God, it's gonna drive me nuts. North Sentinel Island. That's what it
Okay.
is. North Sentinel Island. The Sentinelese is what they're called. And if you look them up, Wikipedia will tell you there is anywhere between 50 to 500 people on this island. And you can actually Google Maps it and like zoom in and look at it. And it's just nothing but trees. Like, it's just a complete forest. And there's actually been stories of people that go to this North Sentinel Island. I believe they are apparently owned by oh man, I don't want to misspeak, but they're owned by another country, but they don't touch them. Like, they actually put like a 3-mile radius around this island, and there's so much to it, to where, I mean, between 50 to 500 people, they have no idea. There's been helicopters that have flown over this island, and like arrows and stuff will be shooting out of the trees. And there was even a story about a guy who came up on a boat and he was trying to make peace with these people, and they like murdered him on the beach. And if you actually zoom in, go to Google Maps right now, just follow the coastline and you'll see a ship completely on its side. It actually like either crashed into the island or it showed up intentionally to try to engage with these people, and they killed all of them, and then they completely shredded that boat for all of its parts. So it's just a fascinating thing to look at if you guys are interested. North Sentinel Island. I don't know exactly where else I was going with that, but very interesting stuff. That kind of stuff always interests me. Places you can't go, you know?
I don't know if it's just like the people I've been around recently or anything, but like, and it's like Canada's a big population that's still, but it's like, yeah, imagine being like native, indigenous, Indian to the land. They're like, yeah, we used to be able to go anywhere, and now we just have like our reserve and our like. So like for us to be like, man, imagine not going to Antarctica. It's like these people can't go fucking, you know, it's like it's just like a trip on that, but nonetheless. See, that's the
Yeah,
contemporary problems. That's the problems, but
I love that, dude. It's yeah. For me, it's amazing that whichever country that owns the island, I mean, they've gone out of their way to put a 3 mile like barrier, meaning like if you get within 3 miles of that island, you're essentially disobeying the law and all that. And
well,
I mean, that just says so much because there's another whole layer to it about their immune system and how there was a story about someone from England, I think, actually like took 2 of them up to England and then they like died pretty much by the time they got there because their island like is not accustomed to everything else that we all ingest on a any given day, you know? They don't even know what Wi-Fi is. They don't know what phones are. They've never known that kind of stuff. And that's fascinating to me if that's an actual island. You know what I mean?
yeah, there's places that must exist like that. That made me think about something ridiculous about the province that I live in and where I live now in Alberta. We're literally one of the only places in the entire world that doesn't have rats.
Really?
There's
Interesting.
like there's a way because like one side of the area is the province is mountains and the other side's the plains. So the rats can't like get over the mountains, and then the other way they have like that's where all the border security for the rats are.
Okay. So
But
they've completely shut out rats.
there's no rats here. And we're literally like it's like when you Google like places in the world without rats, it's just like a big chunk of Canada. It's like a full on little like the legit provincial border of Canada, and then it's like
Okay.
pretty much nowhere else. But
That
that's
is so
ridiculous
weird.
because like the Oilers lost 2 years, and we brought that up on the when we had Rambo on Occult Rejects. We brought that up about the Florida Panthers beating the Oilers 2 years in a row because the Florida Panthers ritual is to throw rats on the ice.
Oh.
And
Whoa.
then
We didn't touch on that though.
no. But then even further with that, Edmonton is the largest uh city, like the largest northern city, like probably even in the world, I'm pretty sure. Might have the largest populated city as far as longitude, latitude.
Yeah.
A town of ice, a cold place, and Florida throws rats on the ice. Very weird.
Symbology is
Very
crazy.
weird that I know the symbology of that is insane. It was pondering me for years. For a couple years now because they lost twice.
Yeah, especially with shout out Rambo. And by the way, you guys, I will be back on with Rambo and Cody tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. TJ, come hang out with us if you guys got some time. That'd be cool. But I guess I thought to close out once again, happy birthday, Hulk Hogan. You know, whether or not he's actually still with us and some other plane, we don't know. But I thought I would kind of close out by showing some of the wins tonight and how funny even just the matchups are with these teams in the MLB. of course, on Hulk Hogan's birthday. To me, I just thought it was funny, and I'm probably going to touch on it more tomorrow on my stream, eye to eye with Rambo and Cody. But was there anything else you wanted to touch on, I guess, before I catch the ball?
No, it was just like, even why I brought up like obviously we know like the threat of like the next stage of what like a war or something like that would be like the nuclear thing. I'm like, and the uranium makes the nuclear, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to note that uranium is the 92nd element, and to look up for the number 92, and to just like, even I have a full podcast, full like 2 hours explaining the number 92, and that it's on the Occult Rejects. You can follow that channel as well when you're done following ours and watching ours. But the Joker equals 92. The Joker symbolism is green. Uranium is green. It's like all these kind of things. But the Joker, and then you look at the origin of the Joker as far as the card, as it being a card in the deck of cards. It's the 53rd card in the 52 card deck. The COVID equals 53. So it goes on there. That's the 16th prime. Another story for another day. But nonetheless, the Joker traces back to a game called, the original Joker that was created came from a game called Euchre. And in the game Euchre, before it was called the Joker, right? Joker, Euchre is what created, like, essentially what created all the other games like poker and all these things.
Yeah.
But the game Euchre, the name for their Joker card that before it was called the Joker was called the Trump card. So the Trump card became the Joker in a game called Euchre. And in sports in MLB, there was a legendary announcer named Bob Uecker, who was like one of the OGs as far as that, like, baseball radio. Hey, well, no, we're at the bottom of the seventh here, and that, like, just like one of those OG kind of like voices and stuff. He died a couple days before Trump got inaugurated, the same week as, and he died, I'm pretty sure, same day as David Lynch, whose birthday is the same as Inauguration Day, which is also the same birthday as, not related to them or anything, but same birthday as Jeffrey Epstein, who also, Epstein equals 88, Trump equals 88. A lot to unpack there. There's so much to it, but nonetheless, like, all of this is happening because it's all part of it.
The Euchre card. Yeah, think about that, you guys. The Euchre card, Los Angeles equals 53, by the way, which matters because notice his birthday, January 26th. I think most people that are watching will be familiar with this date, but if you're not, it was the date that Kobe Bryant died in 2020. I think that's very interesting that R.I.P. Bob Uecker passes in the year 2025, which is the year of the snake, and his birthday is the date that Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba, perishes. Not to mention 54. That he was the announcer. Yep, exactly, with the Brewers for 54 seasons. Make sure to go back and check out my stream on the Celebrity Deathmatch where I talk about 54. But Kobe Bean Bryant equals 54 as well, just like Gianna Bryant as well, by the way, who he died with. So plenty more to even talk about with that. I remember you and I talked about this offline. Milwaukee, he was with the Brewers. The NBA team is the Bucks. There's been a lot of currency themes going on lately, especially with Mr. Money, 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 Money Trump.
Well, look where he was born. He was born in freaking Money, 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 Money Falls. Or is that
wait, what? Oh my God.
Money, 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 money.
Dude, I didn't even see that. That's not what he was. I didn't even see
I
that.
thought that was a joke you were making, and then I was like,
No,
"Oh,
that wasn't.
money,
Mene falls. Oh, jeez.
money falls." Yeah.
Oh my God. Money, money, money falls, dude. That really, that's concerning. Oh my God, dude.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
Hey, we're just hanging loose.
Yeah,
We're
that's
just hanging
hanging
loose
loose.
over here,
Yeah.
you know? Oh my God. Money, money, money falls. Holy smokes, dude. I'm gonna share that with Cody tomorrow because he's been a lot on the currency themes too this year.
Oh, okay.
Because there's been a lot of it, you know. But wow, dude. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought this up. Money, money, money. Dude, that was like the highlight of the stream so far. I love that. I didn't even see that as I was singing Money, Money, and then you point down to where he died. I was like, oh my God. Oh man. If you guys aren't liking this stream, then why are you here? Anyways, no, that was great, dude. Thank you. I do want to try to keep this high and tight as far as like an hour and a half as close as we can.
Oh yeah, we're right there. We're doing great.
Yeah, we're getting close. So let me I just got like 2 slides to share with you guys. I guess to plug myself, what I'm going to show you guys are the images that I shared with my Winnable and Patreon subscribers today and the pics associated with it. Usually I'll do a short video called Knowledge Pays with other examples of other games. But you guys, this one was so simple for some of these picks. Remember, happy birthday, Hulk Hogan. Rambo's talked a lot about the wrestling symbolism because of Cody's influence in the work he does around the WWE. But if you guys haven't seen that video of Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage going up against the Twin Towers back in 1988, right? 88. Make sure to do so because they faced off a few times, but in 88, Hulk Hogan said, "We're going to tear down the Twin Towers." Right? So all I did was think about Hulk Hogan tearing down the Twin Towers. Are the Twins playing? Yes, of course they are. And they're playing in New York. You know what I mean? Talk about the symbolism. So it was as simple as, do the Twin Towers come crumbling down on Hulk Hogan's birthday? And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, not joking to me. TJ, I got to ask you something. And twins. Do you remember that? Do you remember that commercial? Did they ever play that in Canada back in the day? For I think it was Coors Light.
No.
Love football in the back. Something. You don't remember those?
No, that sounds extremely American.
Yeah. No, it's totally like a redneck beer commercial. But the whole, like, you would like the song. I got to send it to you. Maybe I don't know if we play it, get copyrighted, but and twins. That was the whole thing. But yeah, so the Twin Towers come crumbling down on Hulk Hogan's birthday. That was the first one. Next one was, I think, about brotherly love. I've been talking about that all year. And in this exact video too, he says, "It's all about the love, brother," before he says the Twin Towers are going to come crumbling down. So I was like, oh, okay. Is the city of brotherly love going to win on Mr. Hulk Hogan, love brother's birthday? Sure enough, they won. Not to mention that love equals 18 front and back in the Pythagorean ciphers. And today is 18 days after Hulk Hogan's death. So even better. Not to mention that the Phillies were down this entire game, so there was even better value on the Phillies when they had not as good value starting the game because they were favorites. And yeah, that was about it. That was about it for that one. I'm just going to mention that the other game I thought was really interesting, I didn't end up coding it, was that the LA Dodgers and the LA Angels were both facing off against each other tonight as well. I haven't checked into the score. But either way, it's just the two LA teams are playing on Hulk Hogan's birthday, and Hulk Hogan's nickname was Hollywood Hogan. So perfect. Why not have both Hollywood teams playing against each other?
I just ran some quick numbers and they look real good.
What's that? For what, that game?
Just more celebrity deaths and on Hulk Hogan.
Okay, what do you got?
So I'm sure we're all familiar with the George Foreman grill.
Yep.
Yep. George. So that whole grill was created and marketed and presented to be Hulk Hogan's grill.
Oh, really?
It's that's a fact. And so it was supposed to be the Hulk Hogan grill. And Hulk Hogan was like, "What? Some fucking grill? Some angled grill? What? No, I'm out." And considering like how popular that was, it was like everyone had one. Everyone had like 3, like I don't know, everyone had like 3 or 4. Like everyone, it wasn't just like you had one. It was like it evolved and all that stuff. Because he passed in 2025. He passed on March 21st, the spring equinox, also. So to kick off the year, from his death day to Hulk Hogan's death day, including end date, 4 months, 4 days.
Oh dear. Here we go.
Do you know how many days that is total?
I don't.
126.
126. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Jeez Louise, man. Once again, we're in the year of the snake. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Hulk Hogan did training camp video in Clearwater for the Phillies wearing a. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Just further on, like, because Hulk Hogan back in Trump, all that HH88, that whole thing. George Foreman's birthday, 110. Elon Musk equals 110. So it's just like
Okay.
it's just the plot thickens. That's as far as I literally just was doing that just now, but I might have to go down that rabbit hole a bit further. But nonetheless, just codes right off the hop that we're just like, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The I'll leave you with this, man. If hold on, I know I shared this in another stream. I'm just trying to find, where can I find it? I mean, I can show the image. I just want to show the quote. It's all right. I'll just show the screen. So speaking of Hulk Hogan, right? I want to say during the campaign before Trump was reelected back into office, Hulk Hogan, during his speech of that campaign, once again, he's ripping off his shirt, right? You see this?
Well, yeah, that's his move. That's his
right.
play.
So that's his move. And as he's doing this, he says, "Enough is enough." Right. So after his whole speech, he goes, "Enough is enough."
Isn't that an Illuminati card?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's where I was going with that. Yeah, exactly.
All right. See, we joke that we like ruin the climax because we like had seen it or whatever, and I just did that.
Yeah. See, right there. and it has Trump's face on it.
There's Trump's face on it, but it's also like it's really it's like Hulk vibe too, right?
And notice that the colors are red and yellow essentially, and that's Hulk Hogan's colors. Isn't that wild?
Oh yeah.
Like, look at that. It's nuts. But anyways, we should probably start wrapping it up, Tej. I know we've covered a lot of ground, man, and I really hope that the viewers enjoyed it. Once again, you guys are going to get a different show from us every time. You know, we'll have a couple of things in our back pocket to talk about, but it's all about just kind of shooting off the hip and hanging loose on the news.
And we encourage y'all to like even send in the article or just like let us know, have you heard about this or whatever, and we'll look into it and see what we can give our perspective on it, even because we're not part of the noose. We're hanging loose. We're loosening up the noose.
Exactly.
So to say.
Otherwise, you'll become part of a headline. You know?
Ooh.
I like that. Yeah. Should I put a, you know what I'm going to do? I've never done this before, but I'm going to, as we close out,
end on a song.
I'm going to end on our song, baby. So before I do that, TJ, please, one more time for any of the viewers out there that aren't familiar with you and your work, if you wouldn't mind just letting the folks know where they can find and support you.
You can find me at contemporaryproblems _ Instagram is where I be hanging out the most. My TikTok's bumping. I don't use it, but it's pretty bumping as far as like I don't know, posts and all that stuff, but I haven't used it in like 3 months. But at contemporary problems underscore LinkTree, if you know about LinkTree, linktr.ee/contemporary problems underscore. You'll find various links and all that. You'll find that there. You'll find out that I do many things. I'm very, I'm just too like, I'm so against like the black cube that I'm like too outside the box. But nonetheless, I just like I've spread myself very thin doing many things, and you can go there to find me the most. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, at Contemporary Problems, all that. That's the base of it. If you want to hit me up, I'll reply. I'm cool like that too. So yeah, come kick it.
Well, I appreciate you, Cheech. I'm really looking forward to this kind of new little side gig. Once again, we're going to shoot for doing this every other Monday. So we'll have that. Look out for 2 Mondays from now for next time. Hopefully something to look forward to on a Monday, right? Usually people have a case of the Mondays, but hopefully more people will get excited to hang out with us, and we can always open up the phone line for any of you guys that want to come chat with us. And like TJ said, please make sure to just send us any articles that you guys found interesting. Obviously, there's so much news, but there's the ones that people are talking about. We also like talking about the ones that most people aren't talking about. So TJ, I love and appreciate you very much. I'm looking forward to this. For those that don't know me, Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's in Ball. I go by AJ. You guys can find me at Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's in Ball on Instagram. And my links for the Patreon and the winnable stuff is also in the description of the video, as well as TJ. So if you guys haven't done so already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to both of us. So that way you guys can stay up to speed on the next time we reconnect, which once again will be 2 weeks from now. And I'm really looking forward to it. So without further ado, let's close it out. Let's get those likes up. And we love you, Maggie. Love you, Steven, Joe, Quantum. The usual suspects, Jolin. I should probably not sing. You guys are the best. Thank you, Maggie. We appreciate you guys. Until next time, everybody.